raised here, and now I moved back with my wife, and we're raising our family here. I make a tool called the Uprooter for removing woody plants. And let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Is the way I got into making these types of tools is I was working for a sheet metal company doing heating and air conditioning. I got a job hired with the weed wrench company, actually. Started off doing basic work around the shop, drilling and sawing parts, and began welding the tools and doing every phase of production on those tools. Tom Ness, the owner of the company, as Stephen mentioned, kind of was tapering down his business and wanted to reduce the amount of people he was selling the tool to. And as he did that, I saw a lot of markets that were people needing the tool and not having them available. There were some other options out there, but as we got response from our customers, you know, the other options weren't satisfying their needs. What people liked about the weed wrench was that it was effective. It was heavy duty. It lasted for as long as people could use it. It wasn't wearing down and breaking or bending and being ruined. The things people did not like about the tool were the weight. And I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. So anyway, I worked for the weed wrench company, learned how to make the weed wrench, and learned a lot of things from Tom. And as he was tapering down the business, I could tell it was on its way out. I began to develop a tool myself to feed the markets that he was not taking care of. He stopped selling to Canada and stopped selling to a lot of government agencies as well as the state of California. After I left the weed wrench company, I went to school to get my associate degree in industrial welding technology. I completed that degree at the end of the summer of 2013. At that point, I finalized my Uprooter prototype and began production in December 2013. Some of the changes we made on the tool, right off the bat, the most noticeable will be the reduced weight. The weed wrench was about 17.5 pounds. The Uprooter is approximately 15.75 pounds, so it's nearly 2 pounds less. We also, one of the problems with the tool that people had was that the jaw-facing material used on the weed wrench would become bent if they used it to pull metal posts or anything like that. And at that point, once they were bent, they were kind of caved in, and they wouldn't work as well on small plants. So we changed the teeth of the jaws and made them 1/4 inch steel so they won't bend. So that solved one problem there. I was hoping to demonstrate this with a tool, but I don't have a webcam with me right now, working right now. So what I did is, let me see if I can click to a different picture with the tool. Okay, so you notice the tool right here on my mouse. There's a pin and there's another pin here. This bottom pin, there is a block inside of this metal tube here, and over long-term use, some of the weed wrenches that had actually worn its way out, people had bent it enough where the blocks came out and it wasn't no longer functioning. So what I did is I put a different shaped block in there, and it goes the full width of this tube, and it fits right in there, and it's welded for the full thing, so it cannot work its way out. Additionally, we added a brace at the back here. One of the problems people have had additionally with the weed wrench is that they were able to bend it to the side if they were pulling on it and the tool was not supported evenly on the ground. So we added a brace at the back just to reduce the chance of that happening. Okay, so those are the things we've done to change the tool. I'll show you a couple brief videos of it in action if you'd like to see it work. It does work on the same principle as the weed wrench. It's very similar in design. It's a lever, and as you pull the lever handle, it closes the jaws. Once the jaws are closed all the way around the base of the plant, then it can't close any longer, so it transfers that lever action into uprooting the plant, and you'll see that here. Here's a small sagebrush. Oops. And we also have a slightly larger diameter manzanita we pulled out here. So there was a small dead branch there that I broke out of the way to be able to place the jaws around the plant. So there's a couple, like I said, short videos of the tool in action, showing it uprooting plants. Pardon me. What we want to do with the tool is one of the things that I learned while working with the Weed Wrench Company was how important it would be to be involved with programs dealing with noxious weed eradication, as well as schools. And there are a lot of events that are organized annually, you know, all around for removing different invasive plants. And so something I wanted to do with the company and the product is get it out there, be available to programs when people are going to be doing a weed pull or a get-together to eliminate some plants, be available and show my face and make some tools available so that we could help out. Something we've done recently was a local school was learning about levers in their class, so we took the tool down and explained how levers work and explained how this tool works. And what we did with the kids is we let them lift up adults, that's me in the picture there, with the tool, you know, someone they wouldn't be able to lift normally, and they could easily lift them out of the ground. So it was a neat way to demonstrate to children how the lever works in principle, and so they could see it in action. We would also like to get involved with doing some organization of weed pulling events ourselves. We have a lot of Scotch broom in our area. That's something we'd like to work on getting removed. And we just want to be involved in the community as a whole. I think that by being better involved with the people helping eliminate these problem plants, that we'll probably do a lot better job of getting more people to know about the product and have more people helping out removing these plants all around the country, you know. And the more people you have, the better luck you're going to have at getting those things eliminated. And we also hope to be involved, like I said, with the local schools as far as help them out when they're doing fundraisers for uniforms and things like that. We want to be able to be well known in our community and be giving back to the community as well. So that's kind of where we're going with the company. We do have some plans for the future. There's actually quite a bit of demand internationally for this type of product all around the world. You know, they've got different invasive woody plants. We've also had people using them for managing coffee farms, moving the coffee plants and out of areas where they're growing too densely. And we're going to continue to work on education with other folks on invasive plants and continue to grow the company, and hopefully we can get more people working on this type of product. Well, thank you for your time. If you have any more questions, you can go to our website, theuprooter.com, and like I said, have those videos on there. We do have some other information. We have a kind of a little database of invasive plants. You can click on one of the plants if you want to learn more about it, and it will link you to the U.S. Department of Agriculture site, where it gives you more information on the plant as far as where it is spread to in the United States, and you get some good pictures and scientific information on the plant as well. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Hey, Curtis, there's a couple questions. The first is about size of the tool. Do you have one size? Do you have multiple sizes?
Yeah, currently we just have the one size. It's based on the size of what the medium weed wrench was. That was the most popular. It's kind of the broadest range. The tool actually opens up to a little over 2¼ inch jaw capacity. So that's how those tools were kind of ranged in their size. But it's a little bit shorter lever handle than the largest tool Tom had. And it's about 2 pounds lighter than the medium. We are working on a smaller size. We've gotten some interest from people in having a smaller, lighter version. So we are developing that, but we figured this covered the broadest range of plants people needed to remove.
And I can attest, I bought one and I have it sitting in my office. Used it on the weekend. This is, for me, the optimal size. This is the size we usually bought to use with volunteer groups when we were buying the weed wrench. So, and for those of you that might have or interest or wondering, it is very comparable. It has a lot of the same traits, and you can tell it's a very strong tool. So I look forward to having this option again. Do you have any patents on this? Or is this a tool that, I guess one of my questions has always been, the weed wrench was around for a long time. It was a really good tool, but was it not patented? Was there a reason why you could build something so similar? Is it, you know?
It actually was patented. There are limitations on patents as far as they extend for a certain period of time, and you have to upkeep that. So Tom actually has extended beyond his period of time where the patent would protect the tool or those exact designs. And actually, I've made enough changes on it where I am looking into patenting the tool myself. It's all a legal process, so we're at the beginning of all the patent and trademark legal parts of it. But yeah, basically it was beyond the term where it was protected by a patent. I actually went and spoke with him before I went to launch it, just make sure everything was good to go. You know, he didn't have a beef with it or anything, and he really didn't seem to have a problem with me making the tool, even though it's similar. I think he wanted people manufacturing tools that remove the plants. He just doesn't want to do it himself any longer.
Sure, good. Someone's asking what the cost is and what generally the cost for shipping is.
Yeah, the tool is $150. The shipping for the Pacific, the easiest way we could do it was break it down by time zone. So Pacific time zone shipping is $25, and the east of there shipping is $30. So on the West Coast, the total delivered is $175, and east of Pacific time zone, the shipping included would be $180 total. And if we get orders over 3, we'll cut the shipping in half. That's basically the way we could try and keep it more realistic. As we get more tools sent out, it doesn't cost us as much to ship them. Because of the weight, they're quite expensive to ship. So we're able to reduce the cost down. So if you're ordering 3 or more, the shipping would be half the rate, normal shipping.
Another person's asking, are there warranties on this?
Yeah, basically the tool is guaranteed. You can see that on our website. It's guaranteed to last. There's nothing you can do to it that will damage it outside of using it in some improper ways, and we list that on the website. For instance, if you were to use a cheater bar on that small handle up, on that handle up there, it's not designed to have any extra leverage on it than the weight of a person pulling on it, so that would bend and that wouldn't be covered, and there are a few things like that, but basically it's guaranteed to last for life. If you had a problem and it was something that was our manufacturing fault, we would pay to have it shipped back, and we'd send you a new part or a new handle or a new base, whatever it was. I don't think we're going to come across those, but yeah, certainly if there's a problem, send it back, and we can get you, or we'll get you send it back, and we'll get it, your new one replaced. If there's something you have done to damage it, even though you weren't supposed to, if you actually ran it over or anything like that, you could send the tool back, and we could repair it or replace it for very little cost.
Okay, and in line with that question, someone was asking if you have bulk pricing, or is it just across the board $150?
Across the board $150. Like I said, we're able to reduce the shipping. We don't have a lot of room to move for retailers to give them some margin to mark up. So I did speak with a retailer locally, and we were trying to figure out a way we could make it so that if they were to buy it in a bulk amount, they would still be able to resell it for some money, you know.
Okay.
But currently we just do have the 150 pricing, and we're able to reduce the shipping rates.
Okay. Well, Curtis, that looks like all the questions for today. I really appreciate you jumping on and sharing your new tool with us, and thank you everyone for joining us. To let everyone know, I've had a lot of requests that we kind of do these short 15, 20-minute kind of introduction to different tools that are on the market for people to use, because I think everyone's wondering what's good and what's new and what's out there. So we're going to be adding more talks like this, so it doesn't take a lot of your time, but you learn a little bit about the tools and the makers of these tools. So, Curtis, thanks again. Appreciate you being here today.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's time.
Signing off. Thanks.